Hi guys, it's me, Kit. If you've run into this accidentally, you're not going to want to watch it. This is a video I'm doing to help people in making these career videos. So if you'd like to make one of these videos with me or for me, just watch this. But first, send me a quick email, tell me what you do, and I will send to you some instructions. So you want to print these first and then watch this. I'll keep this as short as possible. So first thing I'll do is run through the 4 different questions, and then I'll run through the actual filming instructions, or just the highlights anyway. So first, these videos should only be about 10 minutes in length. They can be a little bit longer, but that's all we're really shooting for. So with 4 questions, we're talking about 2 to 3 minutes per question. So you want to really get to the point, and it doesn't have to go on and on and on. But if it goes a little over 10, that's fine. But shoot one answer at a time, and I'll talk a little more about that in the filming part. So if I'm filming you, I'll just do one at a time, so you'll have a few minutes to gather your thoughts in between questions. All right, so first, you'll start with my name is blank, and I work as a, and fill in the blank for what you do. And you saw the intro leading into this. There'll be an intro just like that in the beginning of your video. So number 1, describe your typical day. The most important thing here is to describe all the tasks that you do on the job. So if you want to do it in a timeline format, that's fine. You know, I come in at 8, I do this, and I do that and that. That's fine. Or you can just mention all the main duties that you have. Now, there's no advice mentioned in question 1. It's all about what you do. You can also talk about how many hours you work a day, a week, your stress level, but really the task is the most important thing. Now, all the other questions can include some advice. So for question number 2, what are the requirements for working as whatever you do? You'll definitely want to talk about educational requirements, mention the degree that you need. If you need a graduate degree, you might talk about what undergraduate degrees you could get. And this may have changed since you did it. So again, you're giving advice. You're not saying, you don't need to tell us what you did. Tell the viewer what they should do. And then if there's any kind of licensure afterwards, or an internship or apprenticeship, you can also briefly talk about what they can expect in terms of an education when they're learning, when they're getting the degree, and anything that they might not expect to have to learn, that they will have to know. And then if there are any other requirements that you see as being important, like even personality traits, you can mention that. Question number 3, the best and worst parts of the job. You just start with the best part of the job is. When you finish that, the worst part is, and that's it. Now this is where I ask that people be as honest as possible. Now the purpose for these videos is not to entice people into your line of work. It's to give them a realistic and honest view of the job. So please be honest when you're talking about the worst part of the job. Do it in a way, though, where you're not going to get yourself in trouble at work. Now, you don't have to talk about politics, because in any job you're going to have political situations. So just talk about, in that typical job, what some of the worst parts could be. And then finally, any final advice. So here you'll talk about any other advice that you haven't previously mentioned, that you might tell maybe a high school or college student or anyone thinking of going into this line of work. You don't have to repeat anything that you said earlier. This is just for any additional information. So again, shoot for 2 to 3 minutes per question. Now, as far as the actual videotaping goes, if you're going to do this on your own, I would encourage you to do it in an appropriate setting on the job site when possible. Unfortunately, I had to do this here because I wanted to get this online quickly, so this is not really a very nice, pleasing looking setting. But if you can't do it on the job, do it there. Think about lighting. The more light, the better. You'll definitely, if you can, I guess, have some kind of external microphone. That's what I've got on here. The audio is really the most important part of these videos, so if you can add an external microphone, the audio will be so much better. But if you want to do one of these and you don't have that, then you can do one anyway. We might be able to do some things to improve the audio. As far as the camera goes, just use a digital camera. I want to show you what I use. I hope this will work with a mirror. You don't have to have a professional camera to do this. There we go. Can you see that? It's like a flip camera. It's a, you probably have a friend who has one of these. So you just, if you're going to film it on your own, film 4 different answers for the 4 questions, burn it to a CD, and then send it to me, and that will all be in the instructions. What else? Let's see. The content is the most important part of the video, not the delivery. So if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. Just talk through it. Just like with this, I'm doing the whole thing in one shot. It should be conversational. So just imagine that you're talking to a student or someone who's interested in your line of work. So if you make a mistake, just talk through it. Don't mention your company name unless your boss approves of this. But I usually just use first names and no company names unless there's some marketing value to you. Then we can put in your company name and website address, and you know, I'll do whatever you want. And really, I think that's about it. If you have any questions, send me an email. So again, if you haven't printed this stuff up, print it and then watch this one more time and send me questions. So thank you for helping me. I appreciate it.